Hey guys, Gabi here from Ray Studios, and today I'm going to be comparing the Canon RF 35mm versus the Yongnuo 35mm f2. Let's talk first about the similarities. So they're both at the same focal range, 35mm for both of these lenses. They're both Canon RF mounts. They both have the same filter thread of 52mm, and they both have STM motor, so they're usually very quiet. Now let's talk about the differences. When it comes to the Yongnuo, it's a little bit smaller and lighter, you can see it here, and a slightly better build quality. Yeah, I know, a Chinese lens had better build quality than a Japanese Canon lens, but it's true, it's metal versus plastic. But that's about it for the Yongnuo. Now, when we talk about the differences, or in this case, I would say advantages for the Canon, we have a control ring at the front, we have a stabilization, and this is also a 2-to-1 macro that can be very useful sometimes, but letting you focus a little bit closer than the Yongnuo. And there is something else. The aperture is a f1.8 versus f2, so you are gonna get slightly better out of focus images, in the background at least. When it comes to the image quality, I took a lot of samples with the Canon EOS R6 and both these lenses, try to get the pictures relatively quick, so we have the same lighting with the same models in the exactly same scenarios. And I gotta say, it's hard to tell the difference between one and the other one. When it comes to bokeh, I think that's the only one difference that you can maybe notice a slightly better out of focus backgrounds on the Canon RF f1.8, as it can open a little bit wider. But when it comes to sharpness, well, it's hard to tell them apart. They're both very sharp. When it comes to chromatic aberration, they both handle it really well. The same as vignetting, there is hardly any vignetting. So they both perform very good. Now, when it comes to autofocus, they're both very fast and accurate for photography, but for video, I gotta say that the Yongnuo was a little bit hesitant. Sometimes it will back focus for a fraction of a second. It's nothing to worry me too much, but if you're gonna be shooting video with the Yongnuo 35mm f2, there are two things you need to keep in mind. One is the autofocus that, in my opinion, it wasn't very consistent. It's alright, it's okay, but I think a firmware upgrade through that Type-C port that I mentioned before could have been perfect, that it solved that problem. The other thing that it might be a concern for you, if you have an older Canon camera like the Canon EOS R or the RP that doesn't have in-body stabilization, well, this lens also doesn't have a stabilization, so for video it's gonna be a bit of a problem, also for some pictures. With that being said, both these lenses are great. Link in the description down below. I would really appreciate if you use my affiliate links, and if you like this video, you enjoy this comparison between the Canon and the Yongnuo, make sure to give this video a like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet, and I'll catch you up in the next video.